We are going to get these players on the pitch and get this series underway, shall we? University of Lethbridge going to take to the blue side this time around. Velocity sporting that orange, and a best of 5 on the way here for the first of 2 matches of this Criius Gaming Sunday Scrims. Always love hopping in for some of these teams, you know. It's a scrim, they're practicing, they're trying out new ideas, new positions, new tactics, but at the end of the day, they want to show up for stream, right? They want to show up, show off, and have a good time. And Psycho's going to get us started early, trying to find Volkenzi at the middle of the field, but not much else comes of it here. As we kick off game number 1 of this best of 5, obviously the players may choose to continue on. Ball with a little bit of antics there at the bottom of the box will find the first goal for Lethbridge, so they're off on the right foot. As the first touch is there, second touch on the bounce as well. Gets it past both defenders who jump at the same time, and it's a great way to capitalize. So first goal to Lethbridge, they've got the early lead. Love to see it, especially for those of you who have put in for the prediction in favor of the squad in blue, the Lethbridge side. So they've got a pretty good look here early on, but plenty to play for. Still 4.5 minutes to go. Centering pass, King Zero a little too far back. 2-on-1, 0-2 jumps for the shot, but Volkenzi takes it himself and equalizes quickly here. That was a play that transpired in the blink of an eye, really, as Volkenzi couldn't quite get the pass to go through. 0-2 still jumped across as to try and block that shot, but Volkenzi just did it all himself. And evened up now at 1-1, 4:24 left on that clock. Kickoff here, trying to tell what these teams like to play towards, their strengths, weaknesses here. Velocity's had a fair share of double ups on the ball so far. None too damaging to their positioning, but you still like these upwards passes as well down the field. No, I said upwards and down in the same sentence there, but it made sense. Volkenzi gonna run amok here on the goal line. Wedger throwing out the faking in chat, and rightfully so, is the touch out from the side wall, not even to the corner there. Just a couple of misses, couple of scrums there in the defensive zone, and we're 1 minute even into this game number 1, and Velocity up 2-1 at the current standpoint. Waiting for Lethbridge to make a little bit stronger of a stand on defense, but I think you could say the same for Velocity. Both teams have had plenty of opportunities at this point, even within the first minute, where the defenders don't seem like they have the best positioning on the goal line. And obviously that makes the scoring chances that much more dangerous for either side, as Psycho's doing a lot of work just to get this one centered up at 0-2, just a little too late to that heater of a touch. Middle of the field again, but ball is going to be the only place that ball finds. Very confusing. Keep tripping myself up, you know, hard to say the ball goes to ball in the same sentence and all that good stuff. But Psycho, well, a nice little low touch here, trying to get past one defender. 0-2 to the corner. Velocity doing a pretty good job once they get to the deep end of the zone, holding on to that possession. Psycho's up for it now again. It's the Psycho and 0-2 show is forcing that one underneath. Volkenzi sends it wide. Psycho with another touch. Looking for that possession control. Don't necessarily need to send it on target as long as you're keeping that ball in between you and your teammates. And that's exactly what Velocity are looking for right now. A little bit more time transpires, though, before we get a potential fourth. Lethbridge looking for it on a quick counter, but no shooter there as the second person in rotation to take it away. Ball sheet now, going for this one. A centering pass out of the corner, too deep for Wedger to find. King Zero the only one back. It is a 2-on-1 of sorts, but very slow meet there from Velocity. Not really willing to challenge right away, and King Zero will buy a lot of space all the way down. Forced challenge here, though, and Volkenzi will take advantage. Looking for a counter, Psycho to the back wall, and the shot is blocked away by Wedger. It's nearly found its way in on its own off of that clear. But Lethbridge will survive and keep their goal differential only at the -1 for now. 2 minutes to play, and still searching for that equalizer. Psycho's redirect goes wide. Another strong infield pass opportunity. 0-2 with a demo leaves the net wide open, and King Zero's not there in time. Velocity will jump out to that 3-1 lead here. Psycho, just a deceptive play up the sidewall there. You want to think King Zero was betting on the air dribble coming off the sidewall, so jumped a little bit too high, but the farther that King Zero drove up that wall, the harder it would have been for them to get back in the way of Volkenzi's shot towards that fairly open net. Volkenzi, big launch here to the backboard, leaves it for the second, but King Zero, nice play under pressure there to get a touch. Psycho, though, good control, gets demoed mid-air, but still puts the ball relatively on target here. Velocity, again, looking to maintain that possession, stay strong. As another infield pass here goes out, this time for Lethbridge, goes all the way to the side. Wedger now off the sidewall, plays it all the way down, leaves it to King Zero. Ball sheet going for the follow-up as the third, but cannot find it past Volkenzi. And a couple of windows have been opened here for Lethbridge, but they're not too keen to jump through them when presented with the opportunity. Meanwhile, Velocity, they've done well to meet the challenges as early as they can. They want that pressure. They want to just preside over the ball at every given circumstance. And if they're just forcing Lethbridge here to take touches that they don't necessarily want, that could be their way to holding on to this 2-goal lead, because they don't necessarily need offensive pressure here, Velocity, at this point. They just need to stand strong on defense. For Lethbridge, though, definitely looking to force out a couple more of those double commits that we saw earlier on in the game from Velocity and punish them a little better. Ball sheet, good touch out here, but Psycho is going to block it instantly from the middle of the field. King Zero finds it, though, and Wedger could get a good handle on it, but 0-2 takes it aside. One-on-one, ball sheet launched to the back wall, and a follow-up shot. It does come through from Wedger, but it's too slow and a little too inaccurate to make any damage. 20 seconds to go. Velocity now look poised to take the first. Volkenzi should surely be able to control this ball off the ceiling as well, which works out very well for possession, let alone a shot opportunity. Can't quite get it under the crossbar, though, and time continues to expire. One last pinch for the road. High pop here, challenged in midair. Volkenzi does manage to keep it up for now. Do they search for that fourth, or does the ball hit the ground in the corner and Velocity walk away with a 3-1 victory here in game number 1 of the series? Fantastic effort, I was going to say, from both teams in this first one. But, I mean, the scoreboard kind of tells you pretty much everything you need to know. Now, a point about this, right? We see one shot on there for University of Lethbridge. Obviously, not great to manage one shot in a whole game of 3v3. However, the one shot they take is the one shot they score. So theoretically, Velocity still has work to do defensively. However, Lethbridge can certainly try and test them a little bit more. It's not going to happen magically. Velocity is not going to gift you those opportunities where the ball is just going to fall into the back of the net because a couple people miss. You're going to have to force those eventually. You're going to have to be proactive on offense, make sure, you know, maybe you send someone forward and try and get a demo or a bump or something, get the defense shaking a little bit more than they already currently are. It's all about jumping on those weaknesses there, trying to take advantage. So, game 2. Surely on the way soon. Just making sure we have everybody in the lobby, and I believe we do. Just making sure these players are good to go when the lobby is full. So we will let them know that. Hopefully everybody is currently at their PCs. So I'll send the ready up here for game number 2, and we will get underway. How we feeling, chat? Game 1 in the books. Velocity taking a 3-1 victory in that first game. You liked to see Lethbridge score the opener. I think they can do really well by themselves to try and find another opener here. But now the question becomes, what does Lethbridge do to hold on to a lead? Because they've had Velocity run it back rather comfortably there in the first game of the series. Now tasked with finding yet another lead here in game 2 just to even this up. Now 0-2, searching up for this one off of the sidewall. Psycho forced to play back. Volkenzi speeding towards the corner, but will be the first to the ball, which is crucial. If the challenge is faster from the Lethbridge attacker in that situation, that's a pretty wide open net, as Psycho's rotation was not the best back into that back post. Big block here from ball sheet comes through to the back wall. Wedger wants the shot from far and away. Does not get there in time. Good pass, though, and possession control, loving it from Lethbridge right there. Psycho, though, gets it past one. The shot over the top is just wide of the far post. Lethbridge still searching, but not without a great effort here for the first. Ball sheet Able to block this one high up in the air. Another challenge here. Goes slightly in favor of Psycho, but honestly, that's all Psycho really needs. Wedger, though, takes away in a 1-on-2. Able to get this one, turn it in, and force the own goal. Cheeky little play from Wedger here. Gets the first for Lethbridge. And a high-pressure situation. Even got the shot off out of the bump. Very, very impressive stuff there from Wedger. And if that's what it's going to take for Lethbridge to get out to the lead here, can certainly do well by themselves to find more opportunities like that. Force a 1v2 deep in the box. Not every day see a player able to do that. Wedger, though, wants a cleaner shot through. King Zero trying to stuff home a block. Ball sheet takes a shot. No player unable to find it, but a good transition play. Speaking of transition plays, though, Volkenzi goes to the bottom corner, but sends it just outside. Psycho with a big block here, plays to Volkenzi there on the sidewall. Good recovery, has the flip reset as well to keep it up. And the bump is too late. The challenge sends it out to mid, but Psycho's coming back to the back wall. Waterfalls it down, miss from the first defender. Wedger eyeing up a squishy save, but it hits the crossbar. The woodwork coming in clutch for Lethbridge. Psycho racing for that one. Wide open ball to get to, but can't find it past the defense. And Lethbridge managed to survive there with a little bit of help from the post. A lot of bit of help from some awkward, scrappy situations there for Velocity that they just couldn't quite commit everything to in time. Psycho had that one touch that was very, very close to being an open shot, but was just too far away, playing that loose midfield position, waiting for the clear to come out, and then hopefully keeping it in the zone, which is exactly what Psycho accomplished. However, it also put them in a disadvantageous position, as this one, ball sheet racing for it. Can't quite find the challenge in the back of the net, though. Defense doing well from Velocity to get in front. Halfway through, and Lethbridge now with that 1-goal lead that we were talking about. What do they do to hold off Velocity here, who are only going to push stronger and stronger? But that's a little bit of a miscommunication. 0-2 still puts a shot on, though, and that's a really good pickup from that position as well, because Psycho and Volkenzi didn't quite connect on what they wanted to do on the offensive push, and now it all falls on 0-2 to at least get a touch and stop the counterattack from coming back the other way for Lethbridge with the numbers advantage. 1:50 to play now. Ball sheet with a catch and collect. Middle of the field for 0-2. Wedger's racing for it, and great heads-up play there on offense. King Zero goes out of the corner and nearly finds it on the off angle. And a demo here, and a brief slowdown, if only for ball sheet to come back through. King Zero off the backboard. Water falls down, but unfortunately the read was just not there for the offense to find one for Lethbridge. They've still got great pressure, though. They've kept the ball in the zone for so long here, and it's really paying off. I'm just hoping that Velocity's counterattack here doesn't prove too deadly, because we've seen Velocity with strong transition plays. And listen, I'm not trying to be a prophet out here. I'm just telling you. Velocity, transition play, Volkenzi fakes off the first touch, goes for the second, and both defenders are on the back foot. Exactly how it happens right there. Tied up with 1:13 to go. Crucial moment here. Lethbridge do not want to go down 0-2 to Velocity, but Volkenzi's going to find another similarly open shot here right off the kickoff, just lurking so fiendishly there from the back corner just to jump up instantly and find that shot. It's very deceptive. I talk a lot about players who are able to slow down and speed up at a moment's notice, go 0 to 100 real quick, and it helps so much in Rocket League because it always keeps your opponents guessing, especially in threes, where spacing is pretty far out. You may not immediately be there for a challenge. You're expecting something else. Lethbridge scrapping for this one. 3 demos in the sequence of less than a second. I understand that 0-2 was a part of 2 of those, but Volkenzi a part of all 3 goals here for Velocity, and we've got the same scoreline. Psycho, huge air dribble there, and textbook defensive mishap right there for Lethbridge. Just you can't necessarily fault them too much because they have to play with everything thrown at the wall. They understand that Velocity are going to be pushing, and they need to push back just as harder on offense. But my goodness, Velocity have not shown any signs of wearing down in the latter stages of the games thus far. Less than 30 to go. Psycho looking for a fourth, but sends it wide. Still on this ball, though. the presence to stay there and block the clear coming out. Talk about blocking a clear. The infield pass denied by 0-2. All sheet goes back though, and Volkenzi denies it, gets it past the second as well. Very good control there from Volkenzi. 0-2 slots the follow-up into the bottom of the net, and 4-1 with 4 seconds to play. Velocity is going to head on to an early match point here. And again, just a good heads-up play for University of Lethbridge specifically. They, again, have to be playing up on this ball. They're down by 2 late. They need goals. It's almost like pulling the goalie in ice hockey from time to time, but does not work out in this situation. If there's any team that it's going to be increasingly difficult to have that pull the goalie strategy, it's going to be Velocity. And I do like Lethbridge getting more in the face offensively this time around. 6 shots on. But again, just the machine, the gears keep turning here for Velocity. They keep on going and going. They do not stop. And Lethbridge has to pull off the very, very difficult task of throwing a wrench into those gears of Velocity's train, because it is steaming on. It is moving right along. The bright spot here for Lethbridge, though, I will say, they did find the opening goal in both games. And, you know, a lot of times when I'm on these casts with other people or with myself, and we talk about the scariest M word to use in Rocket League, and that's momentum. You never really want to touch on momentum too much, because you'd like to think that it's a nice subconscious thing that players carry from game to game. They're like, all right, we just want a really nice game. Let's just keep it going. But momentum only really strikes in the most dominant of performances here. And Lethbridge still have a window in. They absolutely do. But it comes with a increase in offensive pressure here. They need to keep pushing for these opportunities, because, again, Velocity is not going to gift them these goals. And Lethbridge has shown us that they can score in the neutral and off of some advantageous positions if they can force a demo. But it's just got to be more consistent here. Underway, game number 3. Psycho gets around 2, but not the third shot coming through, but it's blocked aside. Psycho now trying to do it again. Velocity very keen to play this one low, but speaking of, they go back up high to the backboard. Psycho sends it back down. 0-2 sends it to the back of a fairly open net yet again, finding the holes in the Lethbridge defense here. Velocity change the script up and find the opener off of the challenge. Massive one, and nearly able to find the save away there as Ball Sheet, but can't quite get there in time, and that's all it takes. You know, you think oftentimes about the ball heading into the back of the net. Truth of the matter is, you don't need a whole ton of speed on it. You're not trying to rip it to the back to the point where, you know, the ball shoots through the back wall there. You just got to get it across the goal line. Just got to force it on that angle. And that's exactly what 0-2 is looking to do on that one. The Velocity managed to score. Psycho, big clear off the backboard. We've seen a couple of touches to the backboard from time to time, however, none too threatening. And I think if these teams do come through with a backboard defense that plays solid, I think that'll be an interesting development to this one. Obviously, I want these teams to find the backboard a little bit more, because we've seen some low wall shots. There's one properly off the back wall, where, as I say, Volkenzi has time to go for this, though, as Lethbridge is sort of inviting the shot to come in. Psycho goes cross pitch to Volkenzi here, but King Zero's up early. Still to the middle of the field, though, and doesn't play very well to the defenders, and Volkenzi takes it all the way. It's such a tough play to read. It really is. Because King Zero obviously wants to get there before Volkenzi does. You don't want to give Volkenzi the ball on the sidewall. However, King Zero's touch just goes off of the sidewall again to the middle of the field, and with both of your other defenders there, Ball Sheet and Wedger, sitting on the goal line, they're not going to be able to challenge that shot fast enough. So you have to be so careful with where your touch ends up on defense, because every time you send it off the sidewall, an attacking player is going to be ready. Volkenzi, my goodness. put it on a show here. 0-2 with the pass to the backboard. Like I said, could see more of that for sure, but Volkenzi, what an angle. Finds it off the post. It did clip off there as well, but a beautiful shot there for Volkenzi is the third goal for Velocity. Starting to run away with it a little bit here. Lethbridge, what do they have left in the tank to respond? You can see they want to play up on this ball. They want to be aggressive, but unfortunately, if they're not going to find the challenges, then they're not going to be successful because Velocity has not shown that they are going to slow down at all in terms of ball control. They want to keep this ball close. They want to go for these dribbles, go for these low ground fakes. And Lethbridge, the invitation is there for them to be aggressive on the ball, but they've got to find the touch first and foremost. Psycho, huge centering pass there. It's a 1-2-3, but 0-2 plays it a little slow. Deceptive though, and Psycho actually is the one who back passes this one out to Volkenzi, but the ensuing pass there to 0-2 is stuffed out in the middle, and just like that, the counterattack ends for Lethbridge. Their one glimpse so far here in game number 3 of the offensive zone stuffed out by Velocity. Volkenzi just pushing for this one in the corner. At this point, Velocity they play for the ball. And it's a viable strategy that's working. Velocity doesn't necessarily need this ball to head to the back of the net. They just want to hold on to it and keep it away from Lethbridge. And Lethbridge now, I think they're learning this lesson a little too late, is that they need to get up on this play. They can't necessarily invite Velocity in this specific matchup because Velocity is going to be more than happy to try and duck and weave their way through 1 or 2 defenders. But on the other side, Lethbridge here, the aggression just not quite operating at its full capacity here in this series so far. It's been a great one, I will say, but Velocity has been on top here for the most part in a lot of respects of this game. And as this time continues to wind down, 0-2, that is an absolutely nasty Doomsy dish right here. Off the back wall, jumps up. Oh my. Oh, that's filthy. Absolutely filthy. 4th goal there for Velocity Esports. On their way to the 3-0 result here in Sunday Scrims. Played back to Volkenzi, who's waiting back at the bottom of that zone. King Zero has an opportunity, but Wedger is demoed. There's the shooter taken out of the equation. And talk about effective ways to clear the zone defensively. It's exactly what Velocity brings. Double up there. King Zero going to be up to it. The double nearly. It's just barely taken away from the grasp of King Zero as Psycho now tries to send this one back up. Defender didn't quite clear it all the way, but Volkenzi gets blocked on the way in. 30 seconds left. Velocity not taking their foot off the gas at all. The miss here on the shot allows for a save from Psycho. Volkenzi jumps up but misses. 0-2, the last one back. Big clear. 15 seconds to go. In the final seconds of this game number 3. A mere formality. We'll see if either team gets a game for the road. But for those people who bet on the side of Velocity, congratulations. Your foresight has paid off here. In 3 games, a 3-1 result in game number 1, a 4-1 result in game number 2, and a 4-0 result in game number 3 means that Velocity are your winners of the first Sunday Scrim here on the Criius Gaming stream.